We can confirm now 2 National Guard troops have been shot in Washington.
Trump's mass deportation system makes me think of what a modern-day slave patrol would look like.
It makes me incredibly nervous that we're about to see people in law enforcement, people in uniform military get nervous, get stressed, shoot at American civilians.
How many people have to die before the Trump administration and the Republicans in power do something about this? There needs to be stricter rules and harsher punishment for people who outwardly go online and call for the death of anybody. We're not in a time where we can just kick back and allow this to happen. People are losing their lives. They need to do something now. So if you haven't heard this already, there was a big incident that happened near the White House. 2 National Guardsmen got gunned down by 2 people. And thank God they caught the people. And unfortunately, the National Guardsmen that were there who got shot lost their lives. Such a horrific event, especially after the video coming out of our leaders saying to disobey Trump's orders. And this happens. So, you know, clearly the rhetoric for violence is at an all-time high. I hope that the White House does something about this. Trump, you know, the Senate, the House, they need to come together and do something about this. They need to start enforcing laws to people who are online, calling out the death of politicians or their political enemies. And they need to start having harsher punishments. I think that that's the only way that's going to stop this.
We can confirm now 2 National Guard troops have been shot in Washington near the White House is what we are told. We do not know about their conditions at this time. We are just starting to get brand new details, but we can confirm 2 military personnel have been shot.
This is another political assassination. There's no other way to put it. This is a political assassination again. And it happened with Charlie Kirk. We thought something was going to happen. Now this happens. Is something going to happen? Is the Trump administration, are they going to go and do something about this? Not just make a mean tweet. There needs to be action. Something needs to happen to all these politicians that are sitting there saying that Trump is Gustavo and the troops that are coming in are like Hitler and the Nazi party. There needs to be consequences. And they're not doing nothing. It's just going to continue to happen. And it's just crazy how far left the Democrats are. Everybody on the Democratic Party is far left. So this is Jasmine Crockett, the face of the Democratic Party, apparently, demonizing deploying the troops.
I'll say it again. Donald Trump's mass deportation system makes me think of what a modern-day slave patrol would look like. Slave patrols were armed groups empowered by the government to control, intimidate, and terrorize people solely based on color. That's what's happening now. Donald Trump is sending mass agents without warrants into communities of color to terrorize the people who live there. And the reason that I want to make sure that I draw out this link, because we heard Maxine say that black and brown is coming together. I'll say it again. Donald Trump.
So this is why they attack people. Their politicians are telling them that they're Hitler, that they're slave wranglers. they are coming for black people, apparently. That's what the race hustlers are saying on the Democratic Party. This is why this happened, guys. Why else would someone do this? If there wasn't a freaking Hitler, whatever they call Trump, in the White House, none of this would be happening right now. But like I said, these Democrats encourage it, but now they're on social media saying, "Oh, my heart aches for these soldiers." No, they don't. They don't care about these people. They're mad. They're probably mad, if anything, that this happened, because now they have to, hold accountability for their actions and what they say. And this is proof right here. This is the Democrats' fault. This is all your fault for pushing this. All of you guys. And there's more clips of this. So here's one of the traitors that's about to be arrested, hopefully. Hopefully this event throws her in handcuffs.
Look at these videos coming out of places like Chicago. It makes me incredibly nervous that we're about to see people in law enforcement, people in uniform military get nervous, get stressed, shoot at American civilians. It is a very, very stressful situation for these law enforcement and for the communities on the ground. So it was basically a warning to say, like, if you're asked to do something, particularly against American citizens.
She's saying that soldiers might get scared and shoot civilians. That's what they're saying. That doesn't scare you. I don't know what will. If this was my only source of information, and I watch CNN all the time or whatever, and listen to these Democratic politicians, I would believe it. This is such an irresponsible thing to say for a leader. She's not a podcaster. She is in power. She has power. She is saying all this. What's happening? Nothing. Nothing's happening yet. They call out pretty much to go against Trump and pretty much starting another civil war, and nothing's happening to him. What is going on in the Trump administration? This is what irritates me. People like this need to just be thrown into prison. Go to prison. You don't deserve to lead. You don't deserve to serve us. It's just so irritating and frustrating that these people are sitting here and they are still in power. Why? Why are people like this still in power? And here's one from the useless mayor of Chicago. Doesn't change anything. Just blames literally everything on racism. See, no troops in Chicago. No soldiers on our streets. It says it's on. You're not in the street. You're on the street. So even the people that are protesting are illiterate. We don't negotiate with fascists. And you wonder why he got shot, guys. You wonder why they're shooting us. They're shooting us. They're taking us out. This is crazy. They view any type of military, any type of people that oppose them as Nazis. Everybody. I remember this clip. I think I reposted on my channel, but this guy is freaking crazy. This was from DC when they first went into DC to clean up the crime there. This is what this gentleman has to say, this race baiter over here.
We believe that the National Guard and the military occupation is the first step into rounding black people up and putting them in detainment camps here in Washington, D.C. and around the United States of America.
No proof, no nothing. Has a foreign flag behind him, of course. These people aren't for America. I don't know who this is. If this is some random speaker for a protest, it is what it is. They're crazy. They're all crazy. But just the sheer fact that he thinks that this is happening and people might actually listen to it and fear that they're just going to make slavery legal for some reason. It's maddening to me. It's maddening that people believe this. And obviously, we have to give credit where credit is due to the news. Obviously, they're undermining this. They're acting like the shooters are the victims. Of course, because if it's anything against Republicans, the person who did it is the victim.
A focus will turn to whether these guardsmen were specifically targeted. If that's the case, it would fit with what we've been hearing from law enforcement officials for a number of months now, that some political flashpoints in the country, whether that's immigration policies by the administration, the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict, even amid a tenuous ceasefire, those kinds of flashpoints have made people in uniform, be they military, law enforcement, government officials, people in uniform, have increasingly been targets, and that is going to be one focus of the investigation going forward, Kim.
They are targets because you guys made them targets. What do you mean? Well, I don't know if they're specifically targeted. Yes, they were. They have a uniform on. They were going after the people in uniform. Like, they're so dumb. They're like, well, we don't know the purpose behind this attack. It's clear as day. It's political violence. Again, this is just going to continue to happen. And you have people like ABC saying that Trump is Hitler 2.0. Like, they take no accountability for what they put on TV.
But of course, you know, there's so much controversy happening in the United States right now with ICE, who are also wearing uniforms and wearing masks. And so there's, you don't know, people walking around with uniforms in an American city. There are some Americans that might object to that. And so apparently this shooting has happened.
It's all right, guys. They thought they were ICE agents. They confused them. They confused them. They thought they were ICE agents, so that would have been better if they thought they were ICE agents and more understandable. But in this case, you know, the soldier was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. He should have just stayed home. He should not have been deployed. He should have just went against Trump's orders and stayed home. Now he's dead. Oh well. That's how the media portrays us at. They always undermine whatever happens to the right. They always undermine it. They always think that it's not a big deal. And there has to be some secret code behind what the person did. No, it's because of you guys, ABC, MSNBC, CNN, all you worthless news channels are making these people who protect our country as enemies. They are trying to have a rebellion uprise. They're getting all these people to uprise and overthrow the government, just like the Confederacy. This is step by step by step. It just looks like the Civil War every single time we see stuff like this. Why? Why hasn't Trump done anything about it? That's what irritates me about this. In my quick and humble opinion, you know, I'm not a political analyzer. I don't know everything about politics, but they need to come up with a bill or something, or create a task force that solely goes online and finds people who are threatening people for political differences. Obviously, right now it's going to be in towards the left more because that's where it's mainly happening. Let's just be honest. This is solely on the left. This isn't, you don't see Republicans calling out for violence like this. And they need to go in there and start cracking down if they see somebody threatening a politician or, you know, a political opponent or whatever. And if they get a sense that somebody's trying to organize something online, go ahead and investigate, find their address, go and throw them in handcuffs, question them, make sure that everything that they're saying is true, and throw them in prison. Just throw them all in prison. And it's so crazy because these are two American soldiers going into America and having to fear for their lives. American soldiers who are sitting there defending our country. Now they have to fear the citizens. It's crazy. So I just think that the Trump administration needs to do something. They need to do it like today or tomorrow or maybe over the weekend. They got to do something. This is unacceptable. This is instilling fear into Republicans. And guess what? If you don't do nothing, they're just going to keep on doing it. They're just going to keep on doing it. But anyways, this is just a horrific incident. And I hope that this wakes up Trump and the administration and they actually get something done. Make an example out of these clowns on the internet that are, you know, they're incels. They're in their parents' basement trying to organize a full-on attack. And throw these clowns into federal prison forever. Go throw them away forever. Make that an example. Anybody that is organizing an event that's going to attack ICE or soldiers or anything, the person who organized this needs to be found and arrested and thrown into federal prison for the rest of their lives. That'll stop people from doing it. I'm telling you right now, easy fix. Just do it to about 5 or 10 of them. I guarantee this won't happen again because they're too scared. They know that they're going to get away with that. That's why they're doing it. But anyway, this is just, it's crazy, man. It's just very disheartening that this happened. And I pray for the families. And I pray that the Republicans do something about this. We can only hope, right?